in Atenveld, in what's now the region of Artemisia, the Shire of Bronzehelm, which after 7 years is no longer incipient. Anyway, in Bronzehelm dwells a man by the name of Haakon Haukarson, and a good friend of his, one Haakon Haukarson, decided that it was just and fit that Danu's character be properly spread to the world. And there are a number of stories that have been told of Haakon Haukarson, only one of which, unfortunately, I have heard. It seems that one time Danu had gone a Viking, and the ship he was on had gotten caught in a storm, and had gone down. And so Danu is floating in the North Sea, holding on to the spar of the ship. And another ship comes along and pulls him up. And since they pulled him from the waves, they're going to make him a thrall. And Danu really doesn't want to have any part of the idea of being a thrall. It's not quite what he was planning on being. It wasn't his goal in life.
You mean he wasn't enthralled with the idea?
That was close. I think we could call it a tie.
I was waiting for the break to get it in.
Yeah.
But he didn't give us one.
Yeah. Wise.
Danu, not being enthralled with the idea, as you so succinctly put it, decided to challenge the captain for his life, and if he won, the ship too. Captain, feeling a need for some sport, and thinking that Danu was in slightly worse shape than Danu actually was, went along with the idea. And they fought on the decks of the ship, and Danu won. Left the captain on the spar where Danu had been, and took the ship and crew, continued their trading mission, and finally ended up in Gdansk, Danzig. And paid off the crew, sold the cargo of the ship, sold the ship, got all the money for all this. Possession of the ship would be transferred in the morning. He's sitting in the captain's cabin, looking around, drinking some of the last of the wine that he had, ale that he hadn't sold, and was looking around, seeing if there's anything else he might be able to sell. Up on the mantel, a couple of skulls. And he drank some ale, and looked up at these skulls, and drank some ale, looked up at these skulls, and suddenly down he just got this fiendish man. And he went and got one of the skulls, hid it under his cloak, and went off the ship and into the streets of Danzig. He went looking for a Saxon, the biggest, broadest, stupidest Saxon.
Well, that's easy.
And finally, on a street, he spotted a Saxon. Big, brawny, pea-brained Saxon.
This isn't going to be about Saxon violence.
No, this one has nothing to do with Saxon violence. It's definitely going to be about the Norman conquest,
I thought it was Robin Hood.
which got the X rating because of the Saxon violence.
Yeah.
No, this is Danu and the Saxon. Oh, this big Saxon here. And there's Danu down here. Danu's a big man. He was over 6 feet, but there's this big Saxon.
About 8'3" or so.
A bit bigger than that. This was your real big Saxon. Economy
size.
The type that Hengist and Horsa really liked in their shield walls. Big shield. Big shield. 3 of them would do. And he comes up to the Saxon and is like, hello, hello. And the Saxon's walking the street and down he taps him on the leg. And finally, Danu just shows up and takes them in the rear.
Where? Oh, little man. What you want?
But I have something here, rare and precious, that I think might be of interest in.
What do you have? Would you possibly have interest in me? Saxon.
I have here the skull of Beowulf, the monster slayer. Any man who has this will never be defeated in battle.
How I know this real?
Since I've come in possession of this, I have never been defeated in battle.
He's truthful.
What you want for it?
What you happen to have.
One.
Many gold. Many.
That's just happens to be with the cost of this skull, the skull of Beowulf, the monster slayer, he who slew Grendel, he who slew Grendel's mother, he who...
Mrs.
It's
Grendel.
good, it's good.
How are you
Yes.
here?
Yes. Here. And the Saxon strolled off, holding the skull of Beowulf, the monster slayer, very pleased with his bargain.
Danu headed back to the ship with his gold.
Quickly.
He sat down, got back into the captain's cabin, and it's not over yet. Back to the captain's cabin, he counted the gold, and he'd gotten a lot of gold. It was really good. And Danu kept on, there was still some more ale. And he drank some more of the ale, and he looked at the other skull on the mantle. And he drank some more ale, and he looked at the other skull on the mantle. And he finished off the ale and looked at the skull on the mantle, and it's like, two's the charm. And he went over, and he got the skull, and he left the ship, creeping along, looking for another Saxon. And he found another Saxon, and this Saxon made the other Saxon look a little bit short. And Danu, having learned from the first Saxon, didn't even bother with the hi there, or anything like that. It's like, boom!
Little man.
No, I'm not tasty at all. I'd be bad for you. Stick in your teeth. But I have here the skull of Beowulf, the monster slayer. He who slew Grendel's mother, who ate Hrothgar in his hall. And any man who has this shall never be defeated in battle.
How do I know this true?
Ever since I've had it, I haven't been defeated in battle.
What you want for it?
What do you got?
One. Many gold.
Many gold does happen to be the going price for this item. And for you, I'll let you have it for many gold. It's the skull of Beowulf, monster slayer.
Many gold.
Never defeated in battle? Never defeated in battle.
Go England soon. Here.
And Danu prepared to leave the street and turned around, and there was the other Saxon. Hey, Hrothgar, see what I have. It's the skull of Beowulf, the monster slayer.
I have the skull.
Man. Yes?
How? I have. He has.
Why, no. Observe the skulls. Wait, look. One of them is the skull of Beowulf, the monster slayer, as an old man. And the other is the skull of Beowulf, the monster slayer, as a baby. And Danu went off to the ship and was very happy that he didn't have any more skulls.
Ball.